As we said, the DISP subroutine will calculate the temperature changes. Let's see how this subroutine operates. These lines are the subroutine interface you can copy from the Abaqus documentation. This line is just like the line we had in the USDFLD subroutine. Our variables are D, T maximum, TP, and T. Here we set values for these variables and you can see what these variables are. So our first move in this subroutine is to input data. Next, we must specify the layer number. To do this, we will use the getPartInfo utility subroutine. This will do the exact same job as it did in the USDFLD subroutine. See, its flowchart and code lines are the same, so we won't bore you again with its explanation and move to the next part. After we have found the layer number, this condition must be checked. If time 2 is less than or equal to I-1, multiply Tp, the temperature of this element will equal the maximum temperature and the subroutine ends. Otherwise, the temperature will be calculated through this equation at this time, then the subroutine ends. In the code, we have the equation here. After this condition doesn't satisfy, the temperature will be calculated with the equation, its values will be printed, and the subroutine ends. Let's make an example to understand this part. Also, we get back to this slide to show you the temperature changes in the diagram again. Imagine the element we want to see its temperature changes is in the second layer and time 2 equals 1. As you see in the diagram, the temperature changes of this layer start from here, not the beginning, or more precisely from the first second onward. Somehow we must apply this to the subroutine. Therefore, we have this condition here. Put the number 2 instead of I here. The time period is 1, so this expression equals 1. Now these two are equal, so we won't have any temperature changes, and the temperature equals T max. But in time, the time 2 becomes greater, so we would have temperature changes. And this line will be created through this equation. Now you know how the simulation proceeds. Just remember, each time you're running a simulation, make sure to open the subroutine file and change the values of the variables of both subroutine according to your own model. But let's do this simulation together one time to better understand it.